welcome to the channel. I just bought a 2021 KTM Duke 390 for 1,900 bucks, and I can't even ride it. Come check it out. All right, so as you saw, she got some parts that she needs, a little beat up. I got it from an auction. It was totaled because it was stolen. So the ignition was drilled out and the gas tank lock was drilled out. And so today I'm gonna go pick up a new lock set from KTM from Edge Power Sports. And what we're gonna do is replace the ignition, replace the lock on the gas tank, replace the seat lock, oil change, battery, and filters. And then I think she should be good to run. Package secured. Let's go home. Okay, just real quick, a backstory of how I got this bike. So if you ever heard of like Copart, they basically auction off totaled cars and you can bid on them and stuff like that. The same type of deal. This site's called IAAI, and there's a location in Salt Lake City. And I saw this bike on there and decided I wanted to bid on it. I won it for $1,925. The reason it was totaled is because it was a theft. So someone had drilled out the ignition, stole it, did his thing with it, probably got in an accident, I would assume. And because that bike, I'm assuming, was insured by the previous owner, that insurance company, you know, paid him out to get a new bike. So once they found the stolen bike, they sent it to the auction site to make some money back. That's how the insurance companies work. So I've been on it $1,900 after fees and taxes and all these parts. It's more like $3,000. The bike itself is worth probably like $5,000, $5,500. So still a really good deal. By no means like crazy cheap, but I'm stoked. I'm stoked. From what I've heard, this bike is super fun. It's gonna be a super fun canyon rider. So let's go fix it, start it up, and see how she works. So it looks like take bolt off here, bolt off there, maybe on the other side too, and then we will drain the oil. Right on the exhaust. It's perfect, exactly what I wanted. This bike was pretty low on oil. I don't know what the previous owner did to it. I would expect that it's still on the first oil change. I don't think it's had a change. It's a factory because it only has 2,000 miles on it. Looks pretty gross. Alrighty. So, replace the oil filter. I didn't end up using that one plug under there, wherever it is by the exhaust. Where is it? Oh, it's kind of hidden back there. It feels hard to get to, and honestly, I don't think it would take that off. There's an oil drain plug. There should only be one. Maybe there's two. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's probably fine. So oil filter change, cast back on. Now we are going to put oil in. It takes 1.7 liters, I think. So let's do that. Cloth. Clean. And I'm also gonna clean the exhaust a little bit too on the other side, because I got oil on it and it's gonna smoke. Oh yeah, there's definitely a little extra in there. Oops. It'll be okay. It'll be alright. I'm okay with it. I'm alright with it. Now, what we should do next. Battery. Where's the battery? Okay, I'm looking for a little place to put a key so that you can unlock the seat. You just pull up on it. But there's got to be some kind of key. Oh, that's drilled out too. Okay, well, let's see what the key does for it. Just a reminder, if you missed the first part of the video, this is a stolen bike. I didn't steal it. I bought it from auction. So someone had stole it. And I don't think this works at all. Enjoy my struggle. So I ended up discovering that the cable was actually disconnected from the lock, and this took me like an hour and a half. I got the seat off. Now I was kind of upset because it was a pain and my shoulder hurts, but I found something that makes me less upset. So over here, we have this little M1, M2 thing. I didn't know that KTM came with the different modes other than, you know, in the infotainment center. But then I looked on the side and it says Powertronic. I've never heard of that brand, but it seemed interesting. Then I take the seat off and I'm like, what is this? It has the same braided cable that's connected to that. Then I look at the bottom. It's got a power commander. It's a 390. Why do you put a power commander on a 390? Okay. Score! Gotta sit for like 30 minutes, is what it says. I smell the sulfur. I think I'm getting cancer. In the meantime, while that's sitting, I'm gonna try and replace the gas cap, the ignition, which is a weird one because they have these bolts that shear off as you tighten them. So they get super tight and then they just shear off so you can't take them off. Obviously you need that. Oh my gosh, look at that. So I'm gonna have to drill into this, and then I have some reverse bits I can like unthread these. But the problem is that my tool case in the garage won't open, and last time I tried to open it, it broke my key. So I just got new Craftsman keys in the mail. I'm gonna try and open it, but if it doesn't open, then I'm kind of SOL. Okay, let's see if I have any luck. Oh. Well, maybe I can try and get that off. I know I can work on the seat lock, I guess. It looks like this thing just clips in, which is odd. Oh, I see. Yeah. I think I just pull it out. I really don't. Oh, it's got to come out. Can I just come off? Oh. Okay, so I pull this thing off on the other one, and then I should be able to take it out from the other side. Okay, so my phone died, and so much has happened. So, first of all, I forget where I left off, but I got the seat off. I think that's where I left off. And then I got the seat lock replaced. That's where I left off. And I got that fixed. And then I need to move to the ignition. So what you do with these, one way to do them, is you drill a hole right in the middle, okay, and you drill it big enough to fit a special bit that I have, which are these. They're threaded opposite ways, I guess. And basically when you lefty-loosey, it's actually lefty-tighty. So these grab on to the sheared off bolt in that hole that I drilled, and then it'll back it back out as the bit tightens, you know, the bolt loosens. So that's all fun and games, but the problem that I had was my toolkit. I couldn't get it open, so what I ended up doing is I had to cut these holes in the goddamn back of this to lift up one of the little attachments in there, and then from there I could get this wrench in here on this side, and then I wiggled it all the way over to this side and then ripped this one out. And I ended up finding out that there was a bolt that was stuck up top that was preventing it from unlocking. So I'm never locking this goddamn thing again. But now I have all the tools. I borrowed some drill bits from the neighbor, and I'm borrowing my girlfriend's drill because mine is lost, I guess, as well as my drill bits. And now we drill holes 1 and 2, and then back them out, and then replace the ignition, and then try and start. So stay tuned. All right, so first thing you want to do is add a little dent, or like a pilot, not a pilot hole, but like a starter hole, pilot starter, I don't know. But it looks like this, and you just hammer it onto the bolt so that you can put the drill in there and it doesn't walk on you. Also, I forgot to mention right before I started on this project, I did do the gas cap replacement. It was super easy, just unbolted it and bolted the new one back on. So this is a reverse thread screw, I guess you call it. And it looks like it's stripped a little bit on the top, so hopefully this works. You want to get one of these where this will fit into. We can try that one. And we try and drill a hole. Okay, check it out. Can I zoom in? Oh yeah. So we get the hole, right? We stick the drill in that hole, put it in reverse, and it tightens. Yeah, that's what you want. Okay, time to do the other one. That one wasn't terrible. Probably tell you what I'm doing. So the ignition has a clip. You clip in the ignition to like wiring, and the clip is like under the frame, kind of under the gas tank. You can see it kind of goes under there, and I can't access it. I think it's zip tied to something. So I'm gonna try and take off this plastic piece right here and see if I can get under there and loosen it up before I take off the gas tank, because that sounds terrible. Okay, well, I have to kind of go deep. So I couldn't get to this little clip. I mean, I might have been able to two-handed, but I could not in the state that I'm in. So I had to take both the fenders off to lift the tank up so that I could just pull it out a little bit so I get it replaced. Key on, and it looks like she's working. So my question is now, because I'm already so far deep, do I just take the tank off and replace the fuel? Or do I just let the impatience get to me and say, screw it, and start it up? All right, I decided I'm just gonna start it because I don't want to wait. All right, day two. We're just gonna put the bike back together, and then Angel's gonna take it for a spin. Okay, so we got to put the fenders back on and the scratch plate back on. I'm gonna try and figure out why the ABS light is on and the service light is on. I think I know how to reset the service light. Other than that, I think she's good to go.
Let me do the reveal first.
Oh. One thing I do want to try is just clean this up a little bit, and then also there's residue from the old sticker that was on there. But there's a big ass dent in it, so I don't know if it's worth it.
You can do like the suck out.
Oh, another thing I didn't mention is the mirror mount is completely stripped out, so no left mirror. I'll have to get some handlebar ones, which I like better anyway.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, let's start. So once we got her all buttoned up and all the fenders back on, Angel went to go take her on a ride, and it literally started snowing the second she took it out. So I grabbed the camera, we tried to snap some photos, which you can see here. It is Halloween here. And I have a couple more things I want to do with the bike. I want to do some frame sliders. I want to wrap the fenders. I want to install some new levers. But I can't ride it for another 5 weeks. I'm still in my arm sling. So tune in 5 weeks if you want to see me ride it. I'll take you along. But other than that, thanks for watching and peace.